Hey everyone, Paul from the Church Co here. Today we are going to do the long-awaited video, how to build a church website from start to finish. We're going to do it together. It won't take too long. At the end of it, you will have a website that is ready to launch, or you can send it to our team to review. And you will have all the bases that you need for your church website: homepage, about page, connect page, give page, sermons page, events page. You ready to get started? So for this example, we are going to be using the Church Co Builder, which is the platform that we've built specifically for churches. It has all of the things that a normal website builder would have, but it also has the things that a church needs, like an event system or a connection to Planning Center and PushPay or Church Suite. It's also got things like a prayer system, just those basic things that churches need every day that are usually absent from other church website builders, from other website builders, are available in this church website builder. So you can head to thechurchco.com. You can see it here on my screen. And what we will do is we will click sign up to get started. So here you just enter your basic information. I'm going to use the name Rock Church for this account. They won't get my actual phone number, but if you want to give me a call, you can. Enter your password, and then put your church name in. So for us, it'll be Rock Church. It's always so hard to type when people are watching. Agree to the terms. You can accept the cookies, and we are off. All right. So now you can find ourselves on our onboarding screen. Now, one thing about the Church Co platform is that our designers actually will build the website for you. And all you need to do that is to click this and then go through the process of purchasing an account. But for this demo, we're actually going to build the website ourselves. So let's go on and click no. I'll build the website myself. So here you can put some information. So it would be info@rockchurch.org, phone number. So what this is going to do is it's going to go on and fill in the footer section of your website, so how people can contact you. So this little onboarding section is going to just help us generate a website that's more specific to your church. Now we're in the branding. So if you don't know your colors, it's okay. It's very easy to change them later. But this will generate a color. So if you know your colors are kind of like a bluish, you can kind of select a blue, and this will kind of generate some shades of that for you. This actually looks great to me. I might make the blue just a little bit lighter. Let's go with that. There. And then click next. Again, if you want to skip these sections, you can. It's very easy to change in your branding sections later. We'll pick a theme. We have tons of themes to choose from. One of the really cool things about this platform is that the themes are interchangeable. So if you start with one and you decide you want to change it later, you can actually do that, and the whole website will automatically redesign itself. For this video, though, we are going to go with this theme, which is called Emphasis. It's got really strong headlines. It's very impactful, and it really highlights photography. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to click next, and it's going to generate the website, and we'll be able to take a quick look at the starting template. All right, here we are. So you are now sitting on your home page. Now, a home page is really important because this is the page that you can almost guarantee everyone is going to see. Everything, main reason you want someone to come to your church should be expressed in this very section. So before we jump into that, I just want to do a real quick overview of what you're looking at. This is the website builder. You can see that we have support here. If you ever have questions, you can talk to us there. But this is the website builder. So we have the ability to add blocks. You can drag those onto the page. You can kind of preview the site. You can save. You can see what it would look like on mobile, on various desktop sizes, and responsive, of course, as well. If you're not a designer and you find pointing and clicking a little bit too overwhelming, you can always switch into this basic editor. It's the same thing, it just turns it into more of a form. So it's a lot easier for admins, and I actually like it. It's easier to drag and drop and move layers around as well. But for this, we are going to stick in the edit mode here, the design mode, and we'll start filling out this information. So like I said, the heading section is called a hero section. It's called a hero because it does the majority of, in a non-church website, the majority of the selling. So for this, it should be the encouraging of someone to come to your church. And I know what you're thinking, like, what about our members? Well, you actually get to talk to your members every single day. So you get to tell them, like, hey, these events are coming up, or you can put a link in the navigation for members that has a feed of all the information. But this page, 80% of people that see it actually have never been to your church website before. So what we want to do is make this an invite for those people. What we have here is a description of what should be there. So let's say your mission statement is, let's say something like we exist to serve our community and to preach the gospel. Writing that like here won't be that engaging unless you change it to active tense. So what we want to do is convert this into active tense and say something like serving our community while preaching the gospel. Just go on and forgive the spelling mistakes. I do my best. So we also want to say, what time it is, and then plan a visit. We've already got this here. If you ever want to click on this, you can kind of like edit all of these things. You can change the colors. You can add icons. All of that's very possible. I'll show you real quick. Let's just put like an arrow. And you can kind of see, we'll put that on the right, how this looks. And we've already got this set up to where when you click it, it's going to scroll down the page. A couple cool things that this does. You can come in here and you can do things like underline, or you can do outline if you're very, into very cool designs, or you can change the color. So all of that's kind of built into this editing interface, and of course everything is drag and drop. So you can do this. If ever you make a mistake, there's undo button. We'll let you go back and recycle through all of the different changes that you've made. So, okay, now that we've done that, let's go on and just touch on a couple little elements of the builder real quick, just so you know how to do it. So if you had long text and you were like, it's too long to be centered, you can always open these block settings and adjust the layout. I don't suggest right aligned, but sometimes left aligned is very nice. The other thing is you can upload any sort of images. So you can come in here, upload your own images. You can choose from the Churchco stock photos or search. So if you had like church, you can search the stock photos that are here already. So I'll do that real quick. We'll just import this, go to our library. So it's going to generate a crop so that it's the perfect size, and then we'll select it. So you can see that's here. There's a lot more elements in here that you can choose from. You can even say like, hey, I don't have any photos. Why don't I choose one of my brand colors? That's also good. So for this, we'll just stick with that, and let's move to the next section. So the next section is called the intro section. So this is something that it might seem redundant. You've said this, you're going to say it here, you're probably going to say it here as well, but you just want to reiterate that invite over and over again down the page. So we've already got this set up. Welcome to Rock Church. Let's go on and add the city name though as well, just to help Google find and localize the search results. Fort Mill. And then this should be like a very quick intro to your church. Something like, I've got some pre-made stuff here. We'll just go through it real quick. So we know visiting can be overwhelming, so here's a bit about us. We're a Bible-based church in Fort Mill, and we've been around since, let's say, 2002. We believe that everyone has a purpose and call of God in their life, and we'd love to invite you to a service or for coffee after. If you aren't ready for all of that, how about a quick call? So now we need a call to action that goes with that, right? So we've said learn more about us, but we can also say talk to a pastor. And we can switch this to email and put their email here. I'm going to go on and make this just an outline button and make it the same text color. So now we've got two there. So this is a pretty strong section here. We've got a nice intro, call to action, and a secondary call to action. Here we are again. It's basically the same thing, but we want to kind of drill it home. And this is also the first time we get to put our service times on the page. So if you ever want to add more service times, let's say you have an evening service, you can click this plus. You can say, let's change that to the clock. Say Sunday night at 6 p.m. And we'll just get rid of this button actually. So you got a nice intro section. So again, you can replace this content with something similar to what was above. The goal being we're inviting someone to visit the church. All right, so the next section is actually optional, but I think it's really cool. and it highlights kind of some of the things that the builder can do. So we're going to add this intro to getting kind of connected. So what we'll do here is we'll actually open up this thing, and we're going to search Marquee. So it's this really cool scrolling thing. We're going to drag that right onto the page here. I like it with this color, so I'm going to switch to this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to say, let's connect. And we're actually going to repeat it right here, the same words, let's connect. But this time we're going to highlight it and outline it. And so now we've got this really cool scrolling animated thing. You could say welcome home. You could say like welcome to Rock Church. There's a lot of stuff you can do here, but it looks really cool, and it just kind of breaks up the sections. I can close this, and we'll come down here to what is actually the connect section. So this is kind of the intro to this section. Now, we've got some filler information here already, and that is totally fine to stay, but it's just meant to show you what this section's for. So it's meant to show that there's things that you can do at your church that aren't just attending a service. So if you need prayer, you can connect this to the prayer system or link it to an email. You could highlight the ways to, get involved. You could highlight the connect groups, all of that stuff here. You can add these, you can remove these by clicking the X. But real quickly, just to show you how to change a photo, we'll come in here and we will remove this photo. We'll select this. I'm not going to upload it, but I'll go for the stock photo library. Do search prayer. Click on this one. Let's pick it from the library after it's done generating a crop. And you can see it's that easy. So if you don't like this layout, there's actually a lot of different options to choose from. So if you open up the settings of this, you can say, actually, I'd like to see it as columns or smart columns or rows, or this is called the left-right, or you can use the horizontal scroll, which lets you have a whole bunch that scroll left and right. But the really nice thing is that you don't have to redesign this block every single time. I quite like this left-right one. It also, obviously, it looks really big here, but if you want to come out and kind of see what it'll look like on desktop, you can see it flows quite nicely. And on mobile as well, it'll just stack. So worth noting as well that you never have to edit for mobile. That happens automatically. The code is smart enough to figure out what mobile is supposed to look like and then does that for you. So we'll leave that, and then, let's move on to the next section. So again, since you're on the homepage, you want to be inspiring, and this next section is about an inspirational quote. So a lot of times what we do is we will do this as a quote from the pastor or to reiterate your vision. For this one, why don't we open this up, and we can say, showing people what it's like to know Jesus. Now these can cycle through. It can be a carousel. You can open these up, add more, and you can also change the background image. So we'll do that again. I've kind of showed you how to do that a couple times, so we'll leave that one. But the idea is that you want to show what it's like to attend your church. Let's do group. And so showing nice, happy, smiling people from your church. Ideally, you would be using photos from your church for this. But what we want to do is show that it's fun to visit church. And if you come along, you'll see people that are here like yourself. I'll actually set this so that it scrolls. It won't just be cut off like this. This is just in the editor. It'll scroll by these people, and it'll look quite nice when we view it on the actual page. You can already see what the next section is, events. If you don't have any yet because you've just started, it is totally fine. You can either come in here and unpublish this block and bring it back later, or you can actually just delete the block entirely. Again, if you delete something and you want it back, you can simply put undo. I like this, so I'm going to leave it in, and I know that we're going to add events later. Another thing to note is if you use something like Planning Center or PushPay or ChurchSuite, you can come in here, search PCO. You can actually drop the Planning Center calendar on, or the PushPay calendar, and all of these events will just feed directly in from your CHMS once you've connected it in the settings. So really cool feature, which means your website never gets old and out of date, because every time you're updating your church management system, the website would also be updating. Okay, and lastly, a lot of people put give as the last section. I actually prefer it to be more of a call to action. So I think sometimes if we know that 80% of people that see this page have never come to your church before, it might be too much to ask them to give online first. I think you can put that up in the navigation. So we're going to change this real quick to let's meet up. So it's reiterating that call to action we've seen. We can say something like, we'd love to get to know you more. How about we grab a coffee? And we can link this to like a Calendly booking, or we could put it to a form or connect group or plan a visit, something like that. We'll make it a action button, and I'm going to make it the color of the text. So it's just a strong call to action at the bottom of the page. Now, of course, we want to save this. And worth noting as well, if you ever make a change and you save it and you want to revert, you've got a full revision cycle. So if you ever have a volunteer come in and they do something and you're like, oh, we need to undo that, you've got a full list of all the history here. You can roll back to anything. So that is the homepage. We're now going to move on to the About page. So to do that, you want to open up the left sidebar here. This is where you'll find all of your web stuff. You can also, we have all the other things here. This is your main navigation. But for us, we're sticking on the website. Let's go to Pages, and let's open up the About page. Now, fun facts about the About page, it's actually the second most visited page on your entire site. So it's actually worth having a page, even if you have subpages for our team and beliefs and all of that, it's worth having a page that overviews all of those things. So that's what we're going to do here. So we've got this, we've got our mission. I'm going to, again, swap this out to be Rock Church. And I'm going to reiterate our mission again, which was, I believe, serving the community while preaching the gospel. Now, I know you're thinking, we already wrote that, but you never know what page someone lands on first. So it's worth putting the inspiring thing that people want to get involved with here on this page. So while I'm preaching the gospel, learn more. We've already set this to link down the page. So you learn more, it's going to scroll you down here. Which brings us to the Who We Are section. So this is your chance this page is a chance that you have to talk about yourself. The other pages should talk about other people and how they can get involved. But this page is for maybe someone that is thinking about coming, but it's also for the people that have come a couple times and just really want to dive into who you are as a church. We've got this template here. It's very easy to fill out. You can obviously, like we said, you can change all of the colors, you can change all the backgrounds, but it's just very important that these things be on the page. So we've got who we are. At our church, we're a community united by faith. You can put it in your vision, which is what you're trying to achieve. And then, of course, we always like to have in our belief section. People are looking this, sometimes they're looking for it after the second or third visit to your church, and they want to kind of know what you're at. And there's also a good amount of people that'll look at it before they visit the church. So you can do that here. Each of these are an accordion, which opens up to more text. We like this layout because it lets people scan all of these and open the ones they want to read about. Whereas if you just put all the text on the page, it becomes quite overwhelming, and it's kind of like forcing them to read an entire novel before they know what they want to read, right? So that's what this page is. It's actually quite easy. Now, you've told them a lot about you. You should give them a chance to ask you questions about it. So what we'll do is we're going to drop another basic block here. We're going to, again, make it the this third color here so it's quite prominent. And we're going to just invite them to engage with us. Have questions? We're here for answers. Learning about a new church can be overwhelming. We'd be happy to meet up and talk about our beliefs. More typos, beliefs. We'll link this through to grab a coffee. But let's also invite them, right? So let's add another one and just say, attend a service. And we could link this to like plan a visit. I'm just putting filler text in here now, but you could link these to actual pages and actual forms. So you've got this really nice page now that talks about you. You can also put your staff on here. We have a team block that lets you highlight team members. but this is the page that lets you talk about yourself. Let's save it. We are almost done. Each of these pages following gets progressively quicker to do, so you're pretty close to being finished at this point. So now that they've learned about you, we want to engage them and connect, right? So we're at the connect page. Now, a connect page has a few purposes. You want to show what's going on in your church that's not just a Sunday service. We talked about this on the homepage. But a lot of times people that have attended for a couple weeks or even a month, they're like ready to get involved with serving. They're ready to find a connect group. This is the page that speaks to them. Now, we've got this generic text here. Honestly, don't love it at all. So it's very just there. We want to speak more to the person as an invite. The theme of this is invite, right? So let's change this. Let's do something a little bit more like want to get involved. How about want to get more involved at Rock Church? Question. Now let's add another element. We'll do another heading. There's a place for no capitals. There's a place for you. Button. Learn more. So you can see how we're always inviting them, and then we're giving them a call to action to learn more. Now these all scroll down. So what we do is we put this like hash more, and then what we can do is we open up this section and we can give the ID of more, and that just tells the page to scroll down basically. So here on this page we can highlight a few things. We can say these are all the ministries we have. We can list the connect groups that we have. We can invite them to join a team for serving. And luckily, we've got this all kind of pre-filled with templates, but we're going to kind of rearrange this just so you can see how the editor works. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to drop this basic block in. I'm going to change the background color because alternating background colors just really works nicely. I'm going to drag to the top, and I'm going to say, find your place. We'll put this text like, there's plenty of opportunities to get involved at Rock Church. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out or chat after a service. Fix the typos, of course. No, maybe we won't. Opportunities. There we go. And we'll just get rid of this button for now. So we can see we've got a template here that already has been pre-set up for the different ministries. You can add more by clicking this plus button. You can see I can select an image. We'll choose one of the ones just for time's sake. And this is all editable the same way that the other things are. So you can say like youth group, or we've already got that. So young adults. And then of course you can kind of remove these things. And again, different layouts are here. So if you wanted to, you could say, actually, we want this to be horizontal scroll. I'm going to scroll this way. We can kind of get rid of this button, get rid of this text. Yeah, and you've got this nice like horizontal scroll. Really cool on mobile as well. You can kind of go through like this. So we've got that. Now we want to highlight just a few events. So we'll drop in that events block again. We'll change the color so that it flows better. We can add a title here and say upcoming events. There's also some advanced settings here on the block. You can control these colors of these cards and all of that. If you really want to get advanced, you can set your own colors, but these are all defaulted to the brand that you set up at the beginning. And so we try to make it look as good as possible out of the box, and then if you want to tweak it, of course you can. So we've done that, and then the other thing you can do is you can actually put our connect groups with search groups. We've got a connect group system here as well. So there's a couple example groups here. That's obviously big, so what we can do is make this more like this. And this is, if you add categories and all of that, you can say like filter by ministry, filter by time, day of the week, or if you're using a church management software, again, you can connect Planning Center, connect PushPay, connect Church Suite, and these will populate directly from those systems. So again, that's the Connect Group page. And like all other pages, we are going to add a strong call to action at the bottom to engage people to reach out if they have questions. So how about we say, not sure what's right for you. We're here to help. Send us an email and we'll help you find your place. Change the email, do office@rockchurch.org. So again, very strong site. You can kind of see how it's flowing together. You've got this great mobile view. This is great. Okay, there's only a couple left. So let's go on and finish it. Let's save. The next thing is just the events page. This is pretty much already preset in our system. It's not a lot of work to do here. Home stretch. So we've got this, we've got upcoming events. Obviously you want a better photo, right? You want something that shows an event that happened at your church, because a picture's worth 1,000 words. If you show an event, then people will be inspired. Like, hey, that looks like fun, I'd like to come. Another thing you want to do here, and this is just specifically for things like Google and for AI, is add your city name. So upcoming events in Fort Mill. Now what that does is people all the time are searching for like Christmas events for kids in Fort Mill or wherever your city is. So this matches your church to those search results, which is great. So it helps to get you to the top of those search results, and also helps AI to answer those questions when people are asking. So you can say, hosted by Rock Church. Now, of course, we're going to add a nice button. It says browse events, and we're going to do that same thing where we link it down to the section events. And we've already got a pre-filled events block here, so let's just make sure that that has the ID events. And this is pretty much good to go. I'm going to change this background because I don't like when these cards are the same color as the background. So we'll go back to the design section. We'll just do that slight off section here, and we'll make this white. So now it's just like a nicely integrated. Looks very nice. That's it for that page. Save and you are done. All right. So another page that's really common. Oh, sorry, one thing to actually touch on this page. A lot of people will say, oh, I want my weekly services here. We actually think that this page is best for special events like Christmas, Mother's Day, men's breakfast, women's conference. If you really want to highlight your normal service times, you can, and you can switch to the calendar view. It's just that calendar views don't work great on mobile devices. And so we suggest this card view, which lets you have an image. It's much more engaging. If you want to do make sure that your services are on this, I would suggest using the times block. So I'll do that. I'll add it up here, and let's just say weekly services. We're going to go on and get rid of this and this. And of course, you can just highlight these things. So Sunday mornings, Sunday nights, Wednesday nights, Bible study, all of that. You can add as many here as you want. So that's a good way of separating, like, these are the things that happens every week. These are the special events. We'll go on and save that. All right. I believe we are on the final page. And then we'll touch really quickly on one last design thing, and we'll be done. So go to the sermons page. Now this page is preset again. This is a page I think you can put a nice photo of your pastor preaching or congregation or inside the building. I would change this title again to be more specific to the person that's wanting to explore. So why don't we say like relevant messages that speak to your season. And then we will add a button because you always want that call to action of browse. Now, people are very used to watching Netflix and Disney Plus. So what we want to do is actually set them up a system that's very similar to this. So by default, this is already set up to read from our episodes list. It kind of works like Spotify. So it'd be like a stream of your latest sermons. I'm going to remove that though in favor of the series block. Now, we don't actually have default content in here yet, but you can add that and it will work just like Netflix. So we'll set a channel. For us, the channel will be Sunday sermons. We can set a limit. Let's show all of them. So we'll just put like 9,000. And then there's no results, but that's just because we currently don't have any sermons in the system. But once you add them, what this is going to do is it's going to have all of the series there. You can click on a series. It will show you all of the episodes, which are the sermons within that series. And on that, you can have the video, you can have an audio, and you can even have like a note outline for people to follow along, fill in the blank. All of that is done through here. So it doesn't look like much now, but once your content's in there, that's a really strong sermon page. We'll save that. And really quickly, we'll get to the final step. So we do actually have one more page. I was wrong about that. And that's just, of course, the all-important give page. So obviously, the point of this page is to give online and to make it easy for people to do that. But I would challenge you that there's a second point to this page, and that is to show what the giving goes to. So what we want to do is we want to thank people for being generous, and we want to show people. So instead of having a photo here that's like the inside of your service or preaching, I would show the community, show the people. So we're going to get rid of this. We're going to swap it in. This one's nice. We already have it here. Thank you for giving to Rock Church. We couldn't do it without you. Simple give button. That can pop up your giving modal right on the page, or it can link straight to the giving modal. Fun fact, the more options you give for people, more ways you give, the less likely they are to give. It seems counterintuitive, but they actually get overwhelmed by the choice. And so we say limit it to one, especially here, and then you can break it down into ways to give here. So you've got give online, repeat it. You've got text. You've got give in person. You can add any of these. You can change it to be more image-based. And then lastly, I would reiterate this. I know it seems redundant, but let's do it again with that strong call to action. Let's say, thank you for your generosity. Giving to Rock Church helps us provide, and then list what your services, all the stuff that you're doing. This can be give online and link through to your giving. If you're using PCO, you can just do hashtag PCO giving, and that'll pop it up right on top. Or we have a giving system built in here as well. So that's all the pages. That is it. We have done a full website. So you have a full website that's now ready to launch. Real quick, if there's like a few things that you're like, well, it doesn't quite look like us, I just want to touch on very quickly. So I said you could change the branding and you could change the design. So we're just going to come in here. All of your logos are here. You can select those. All of your colors are here. You can change this to like this. You can say this is the color of the text that should be on it. This could be like a bit lighter. We save that. These are the main backgrounds, the alternate backgrounds. And then, of course, you can do the fonts here. So all of this, if you want to fine tune it, you can really open the advanced settings and you have control over everything. But we try to make it easy by just saying, here's a font embed. It's connected with Google Fonts, so you can search those things. And then lastly, let's save that, the theme. So I told you all of our themes are interchangeable. I showed you what this would look like. Here, let me get this back so you can kind of real quick see. So this was it on Emphasis, but if we wanted to, everything is interchangeable. So we can take a look. This is what it would look like on Float. This is what it would look like on Light and Clean. We've got a Waves theme. We've got something called Mosaic. You can obviously fix those things by adding a different type of top bar. Shift has got these like cool kind of like elements going. 2017, quite a different layout. But what's nice is that when you design the site, it is really the last website you'll ever have to build, because we keep adding more themes, which means as we find new designs that we like, we add them here. And in a couple of years, if you want to say, like, hey, I really want a new look, you can kind of come in here, do that. And when you're ready to go live, all you do is hit save. You also have fine-tuned controls over everything. Say you wanted to make the buttons a different style, you can absolutely do that here, and that saves to the theme. So that's it. You've now built an entire website. I'm going to save this back to Float. You've built an entire website on the Church Go. It's launch ready. If you want us to review it, we will. Or we offer to build a website for you for free, so we will do all of that for you or with you. You can always just reach out. So I hope you found that helpful. If you have any questions, you know where to reach us right here. Looking forward to seeing what you create.